Sorry about that. Alrighty. We are in a match 2 out of 3 again with xero against the Seven Swords, both players from ETC's website, ETC forums. I will be trying to commentate. It doesn't always go well. Seven Swords goes first, picking rock, beating scissors, I guess. Starts with a T set. And alright, so xero is playing some sort of dark deck. We'll get to see maybe what he removes here, what he's playing. So information wise, Seven Swords will be ahead because all he has right now are 2 set cards. Already, he's playing Dark World. Okay. xero playing a lot faster than I've normally seen him play, but I think it's because Dark World is just a lot more brainless than what he's normally used to, I guess. I don't know. Dark World is pretty derp. Alright, so xero says he forgets his extra, and Seven Swords is alright with letting it rock with the proxy extra. Alrighty. So he has, this should be a Livier, I call it Livier, whatever. Livier 1800, I'm pretty sure it's 1800, 1600. Alrighty, he attacks with the Beige. Alright, this is 500 and into a Hoplomys. Not really sure what the general consensus on Hoplomys in today's meta. I haven't been staying current with the meta, but what big monsters do you really have? Like Cyber Dragon and Thunder King are your single card plays, and they've never really gone over Hoplomys, so that may be a good metagame choice, I'm not really sure. Seven Swords decides to go into Laquari at 2100 attack. No gimmicks, or not gimmicks, but no going for a card advantage through Murmillo. And also, that's the reason why you should never set your spell and traps before you start doing anything, because if so, Bestiary could have hit him in the battle phase, so that's another reason why. And also, Malevolent Catastrophe, but random stuff like that. Alright. Back to... Okay, that should hit the Livier at 1600 defense. Not a big fan of doing that, really, because he could have attacked over it. But whatever. Oh snaps, we're seeing Rescue Glad, so... He actually could be able to go into Heraclinos, that's the reason why he'd go for Laquari. I would definitely go into battle phase and attack with everyone before going into Heraclinos, of course. Yeah, there we go. Obvious play is obvious, I guess. But with that in mind, no back row, I feel like he could have gone into something else before Laquari, and then tagged into Laquari, and then, so with his tag from earlier before going into Laquari, he could have gotten something. I don't know really. What's in his graveyard? Mystical Space Typhoon? Alright, so he's not going to Heraclinos if he's ending his battle phase right now. So, and tagging. Okay, so no. He wants to go into Heraclinos. He says, never mind. Pretty sure he's going for... Okay, yeah, he's contacting into Heraclinos with 3 cards in hand. Is it enough to... Okay, never mind. He goes into Esadari, I think. Esadari, basically a vanilla monster. I'm not a real big fan of Esadari because he has no effect. He can't tag out himself. The only benefit he really has is like War Chariot shenanigans. So we'll see how this this plan pans out, because as you see, he can't really do anything with the Esadari. I guess one card is definitely... Alright, so Zero is going to go for a derptastic Dark World play as we speak. Goes for the second rabbit. That might be one of the reasons why he went into Esadari, because he wanted to get his 2 normals back into the 2 normal monsters back into the deck. Interesting, like, idea, but unfortunately Zero is the type of player to run Drag Down to the Grave. It doesn't matter, he didn't shuffle. Pretty sure. Well, I don't know. Well, because, I mean, we'll be able to look back and see if he remembered or not. Okay, so he draws his card. Zero draws an extra because he discarded Brow, and he has 3 face down. He just set. Probably one of them is going to protect his pretty low life points at this point. At least one. Pondering his next move. He's got 2 cards in hand. Wonder what they could be. Era, Aeterna, used to be Aeternam, or whatever. Okay, he drew one of the best cards in Dark World. But yeah, Era was talking about on ETC forums how Dark World is a very largely combo-oriented deck. You need at least 2 cards, the discarder and the card that you're going to discard, in order to create big plays, just like the one we see right now. Gate of the Dark World, pretty much almost a free card, and a free ability to use a Dark World effect once per turn. That's the reason why it's one of the best cards in Dark World, and it's also one of the reasons why Mystical Space Typhoon is so considerably strong against them. You can prevent them from using the effect on their turn, unlike cards like, well, alright, you just use 2 freaking... Oh, okay, well, at least he gets his Brow back, maybe in position to use it next turn. Grapha, the Dragon God, is a very ridiculously powerful card. And yeah, the ability of Gate of Dark World to boost Grapha to 3000 is also pretty significant. It's not very significant, but it is significant. And I was going to say that you wouldn't be able to stop stuff like Drag Down to the Grave and Dark World dealings with the Mystical Space Typhoon, but you can with this card. So, alright, so he just used 3 spell cards, or he set 3 spell cards and was able to use them in the same turn because none of them were quick play, and they were all limited to 1 spell cards. How does that feel? Now I'm pretty sure Grapha had an effect that you can't return him back to the hand for his own effect, but yeah. Zero says, first time playing this deck, it doesn't matter, you're playing Dark World and you have 2 Graphas, in basically 2 live Graphas. Alright, Mind Crush and Lakwari. So he gets to Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so since there's only 2 Lucaris in the grade, he was able to look at Seven Swords' hand. So he had another Andal. That is crazy. MST's the Chariot. That really sucks because that could have been I don't know why I did that. He could have summoned Brow first and then summoned Grapha first. So if he didn't draw a Dark World monster, that was a misplay. See, he could have gotten a Grapha on the field. Alright, so Zero, just think about that next time. You're going to take another 1900 and lose if none of those face downs were our defense cards, and usually Dark World doesn't have that much room to be able to run those. Let's see, Zero messaged me and he says, I'm bad and lose. Nice job. Huge misplay, I say to him. Alright, so we're gonna watch these guys return the cards. I guess it'd be better if I just pause the video right now. Zero is looking at a pretty large graveyard, so I will pause the video and we'll be right back with the second duel of, since we're doing 2 out of 3 no siding. Alright, see you guys. Be right back. Alrighty guys, we are back and the players are starting their turns right now. Zero starting his turn because he just lost because of his relative inexperience with Dark World. Okay, he opens up with a single set. Now that opening, I mean, there are a lot of openings that are weak to Trap Dust Shoot, but this one is maybe especially weak to Trap Dust Shoot MST, Torrential Tribute. Pretty hard loss. I mean, there are 2 to 3 MSTs per deck and only 1 for Torrential, so that really sucks for him. No siding, I mentioned earlier, so we're pretty much going right back at it with the same decks. I personally think Dark World is overall a stronger deck, but Zero showing the mostly some unfortunate inexperience, and also Dark World's lack of defensive trap cards, maybe. That's rather unfortunate. So he gets his Gladiator, swapping out Mechanic early. Wasn't able to go for an quest to get anything from the graveyard, I think, because that is not a Gladiator Beast card. So maybe early game Gladiators do have a powerful graveyard mechanic. They have 2 powerful graveyard mechanics in a quest and Darius. Alright, so Seven Swords dropping to 4,000 life points to stop a potentially dangerous tour guide play. Right now these players look like they are pretty much even. Zero hasn't done an explosive play, and Seven Sword is sitting on a Hoblamus in defense and 2 cards in hand and the face down Speller Trap. We know that that face down Speller Trap is not a War Chariot because he probably would have used it instead of a Solemn Judgment. But he is using, he did have a Test Tiger in hand, sorry. So one of the stronger cards in the Gladiator, one of the faster cards to be able to use in the Gladiator Beast. Alright, so Zero decides to, oops, whoopsie right there. Alright, so Zero chains Mind Crush, calls Blue Eyes, meaning Blue Eyes White Dragon and not Blue Eyes White Shining Dragon, or because you can't have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in your yeah. I don't know why he special summoned in defense. because he was going for Jazaris anyway. And he special summons it in attack. Alright, so we're just having misclicking options right now. Zero now looking at a big disadvantage instead of an even, just because of a test tiger play that went through. I think this all was probably decided when MST was hit. I mean, Seven Swords MST hit the torrential, which could have been really big to use against cards like Bestiari or Jazaris when you basically go +1. Does he have any Gladiator Beasts in the graveyard is the question. Alright, so Zero's pretty much on his last heals. He's using Allure of Darkness. We'll see what he removes. But unless he can get Grapha into play, yeah, see, Snow is usually a really important card to Dark World, and Seven Swords knows it. Yeah, he has to remove his Snow, and he probably has two other cards in his hand. I don't know why, or I don't know if they're speller traps or just unplayable monsters that aren't dark. I doubt it though, unless he's running some sort of convoluted deck with Chaos Dark World, but we didn't see any light monsters before. We probably might not see him now. Bestiar is going to go for the face down, and we'll see what it is. Reckless Greed, not a bad choice to chain. He won't be able to draw next turn. Hopefully he remembers to turn off his draw automatically during the draw phase. Seven Swords deciding to set everything, and I'm getting a message from someone else. Alrighty. Sorry. Alright, I'm getting a message from Zero. Drew double Reckless off of the Reckless, says Zero, so that's good stuff. Zero did forget to turn off his drawing thing. I was momentarily distracted because of a message. From CM Punk from ETC, and he's messaging me about potential recording situation. I'll get back to you real quick, but right now I am looking at a potential comeback of Zero right now, so we'll just see what we'll just see what's going on. Double Reckless goes down. He draws 4. And we'll see what kind of comeback he can make. I doubt it though. Alright, so Seven Swords wins 2-0 in this 1-2 set. Zero asks for another match, and I'll just say I'm aight with it. Hopefully they are looking at that. Alright, so I'm going to pause this right now. Actually, I might end this and start up another video to upload when they start another game. So yeah, Seven Swords wins 2-zip. GG's to both sides. Zero's an experience with Dark World, even though it's a pretty powerful deck. Showed a little bit here, and he kind of got a little bit unlucky with that. So we'll see how a rematch goes, and I'm signing off now. All right.